Welcome to Discover La Jolla, where we shine a light on the jewel of San Diego, La Jolla, California. I'm here with Megan Hogan. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I'm having the hardest time. I'm so sorry.
Say it again just Megan Hogan.
Megan Hogan. I don't know why
Megan
I'm tripping
Hogan.
over Megan Hogan, Rangoni, Firenze, Shoes.
Growing up, no one just said Megan. They always said Megan Hogan.
All right.
I know.
Try it one more time.
Just try.
That's a Southern thing, though.
It's cute.
Baby, it is.
Oh,
Yes.
it's 100%. You don't have one name in the South.
Oh, no. My dogs have 3 names.
Oh my gosh. That's
Fiona
so cute.
Louise and Francis Leo
Exactly.
Hogan. Yeah.
That is so cute. All right. We'll get it this time. So
Okay.
sorry about this.
No, I am good.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Discover La Jolla, where we shine a light on the jewel of San Diego, La Jolla, California. I'm here with Megan Hogan of Rangoni Firenze Shoes.
Hi, nice to be here.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Well, thank you for inviting.
Of
Yes.
course, we're so excited to learn about the history of Rangoni
Yes.
Shoes and learn more about your role in the company and their prominence in La Jolla and all over the world.
They are. Rangoni this is actually our 90th year. Ugo, the father of our Mr. Rangoni, he started the company 90 years ago, 1934, and he opened his first factory 3 years later, and we still own our factory. We are a family-owned and operated business fully, and we're in our 3rd generation of family members. The daughters of Mr. Rangoni, Valentina, who also creates a Valentina shoe line for our company, Valentina Rangoni, and his second daughter, Carolina, will be taking over for the 3rd generation. So it will always be family owned and operated, and we've been in La Jolla for over 40 years.
That is so amazing.
Yeah.
It's so amazing that it's a family owned and operated business because like we chatted about earlier,
Right.
not a lot of these Italian shoe houses are family owned anymore. They go corporate or they kind of sell, but the
Right.
fact that they're keeping it within the family and the plan is to stay within the family.
That is what's most important. The plan is that, and his children are in the same mindset. They want to take over. They want to continue that dream. Affordable Italian-made footwear. And because we own the factory, we control the pricing, and that's why it's affordable.
Yeah.
They aren't $1,000 a pair. They're max $350. But our general number price point is around $250. So it's wonderful, and we can fit an array of sizes from size 4 to 12, and also all widths, from super slim, which is very, very narrow, to a wide foot. And because those people, if you're outside of a medium width, where do you go?
Yeah. No, it's quite difficult to find those like specialty sizing, and like we talked about too, it's amazing that your company offers that because
Yes.
not a lot of companies do, and especially at an affordable price point where they can get something a little bit more custom, but
Yes.
still not compromise on quality and style.
100%, and that is what we're about. Mr. Rangoni's father, Ugo, that was what he wanted. He wanted to get Italian footwear to women all over the world, and that's what he did. And Mr. Rangoni took that vision, took that dream, and continued it, and his children are continuing it. And they come multiple times. They'll be here in the beginning of August. So when they come back, because their home base is in Florence, and then we have our home office here in San Diego, just maybe 15-20 minutes from our La Jolla location. And they come, we look at the line, we decide what we want to bring in, and we look at all the styles and also opportunities to bring new styles in to introduce, but we also keep a hold of the classics. And one that put us on the map, especially in La Jolla, is our Asti. And we have an homage to Asti every year in August. It's a huge annual event that really, to hear these women and their stories about their Asti shoe, I have thousands of them, and how much they love it. And so it is multi-generational, not just within the family, but within our customers.
I love that. It's
Yeah.
a really kind of like an ode to the company. And
Yes.
it has that history, which is so nice. And
Yes.
I know you mentioned you have the La Jolla store, but you also sell wholesale. You
We
have
do.
stores on the East Coast. So tell us a little bit about that.
We do. We have our La Jolla store here that, like I said, it's been there. We've been a presence in La Jolla for over 40 years, 42 exactly. And we have our Santa Monica location. So those are our stores on the West Coast. Hop over to the East Coast, and we have Chevy Chase, Maryland, Raleigh, North Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, and then Palm Beach, Florida. So East and West, and to maintain those, and those are also family owned and operated. They're under no other umbrella, and we sell wholesale to many accounts across the U.S. that are independently owned, so mom and pop shops, as well as we sell to Dillard's and Nordstrom and other avenues, and also privately owned e-commerce, which is really nice because, again, we're able to offer something in that middle ground, not high style like Gucci and all of that, but a better quality shoe than
like
your
an
average.
in-between.
You got it, an average market. So,
and like we talked about too on the phone, it's multi-generational.
Yes.
So you're seeing not only like the older clientele that have been with the brand for a very long time, but also you're seeing like their children and their grandkids,
their daughters, their nieces, all of that. And we also sell men's Italian wear, so we have men's as well. And that's just it. And his daughter, so speaking about the Amalfi line as well as the Valentina, Amalfi is very classic focused for more of that Missy customer, that business customer. But then we have the Valentina fashion line. Hers is more focused on an international higher fashion. You'll see a higher heel, more pointed of a toe, more reminiscent of what's in style now, that elongated footbed of a heel that is so prominent right now with all the labels.
Yeah.
So she is extremely creative, and she's the eldest one, but very creative mindset to design her line, and that started in 2016. And each year it keeps building and getting better. But what I love to see is our Amalfi, our traditional customer, going over to the Valentina side and also buying that as well, and vice versa.
Yeah, like really building out their collection.
You got it. And not just, sticking with one type, but really expanding their assortment, what they wear.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure you have a favorite. What's your favorite of all the lines?
All the lines. So anybody who comes and shops in the store and knows, I love heels. I love Valentina heels. The pitch is beautiful. You can walk in them. You feel good. You look good. But also on the other side of the spectrum, I love loafer. And I say it exactly that way. I love loafers, and ever since private school. And I'm so happy that those are back in style.
They are, yes.
Yes, and on both sides of the spectrum, you see them. So we have a classic, the homage that I was talking about earlier, the Asti that we pay attention to every year. That is still our number one loafer to this day and our number one shoe. But Valentina took that idea and did more of that lug style when those hit. So loafers for days, but you can also walk in them. Now it's
comfy, stylish.
Oh my gosh, but that's the best thing about fashion right now. So many things go. Baggy pants, skinny pants, straight leg, flare. We're bringing in all these styles for women, and our purpose is when you leave our stores, we want you to leave with a bigger smile and a better sense of who you are and more confidence in yourself. Starts at the feet.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much for
Oh, my
sharing
word.
the
Thank you.
Rangoni story. Now, if someone wants to learn more and they want to shop, what's the
Yes.
best way to get in contact and for them to check out the styles?
Wonderful. So our website is rangonistore.com. We have the Valentina line, the Amalfi line on there. You can also find us through Instagram and all of that information is posted on our website. You can call our office Monday through Friday if you need specific help, and that would be me. So if you have special fit issues, everybody
Right.
thinks their feet are special.
Yes.
They are. Your feet are very special, but there is a solution for everything.
Amazing. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming
Thank
on the
you.
podcast today, and thank you so much for sharing the story. We really appreciate it.
Wonderful, and thank you for what you're doing for La Jolla. It's a great city.
Welcome to Discover La Jolla, where we shine a light on the jewel of San Diego, La Jolla, California. I'm here with Richard Walker, Jr. of Richard Walker's Pancake House.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well. It's such a pleasure to be here. So nice to meet you earlier
Yes.
this week and to meet you in person. Beautiful facility. Really happy to be here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we're very excited to learn more about you and your story and Richard Walker, because I know you have a beautiful location over in La Jolla that has been there for quite some time, and you have such a well-established brand. So let's dive into the history and how you and your family got started.
So back in 1948, my grandfather opened the first Walker Brothers snack shop in Evanston, Illinois, Chicagoland. And that's where I was really raised after being born on the East Coast. And then my father got into business with his brother, Walker Brothers Pancake House, in the 60s and 70s. And then I came along, and then my dad actually ventured out on his own shortly after that to open Richard Walker's Pancake House in Schaumburg, Illinois.
Wow.
So that's a suburb of Chicago, obviously. And then he opened a second location in Crystal Lake. Then he relocated out here in 2004 while I was finishing up college and doing my own career path. I worked for Ernst & Young for 13 years. Went to 85 countries with that firm, so it was awesome. Saved every penny I had, and then I opened up the La Jolla location in 2014. I can't believe that was 10 years ago.
Oh my gosh. Well, 10 years goes by quick, and you have made such a name for yourself too in the community, and I know you have other locations as well.
That's correct. So after really establishing my portion of the business in La Jolla for the first 6-8 years, and I served on the merchants board there for a couple of years also, and we love our merchants in La Jolla, and getting involved in the community there, saved some more money obviously, and then opened up the Carlsbad location in 2019, and then opened up the Del Mar location in 2020.
Amazing. So you have such a strong brand presence here, and it's due to your unique menu options, and you have obviously a lot of competition being in Southern California, and there's a ton of restaurants and a ton of places that do breakfast, but what makes Richard Walker stand out?
And you hit it nail on the head. So there's a lot of options for San Diegans, especially in the breakfast space, and a lot of cool things happening. Richard Walker's Pancake House is a family restaurant, so we don't serve alcohol. We don't plan on doing that, so it's not going to really be the boozy brunch thing,
right.
Which makes it tough on us because we've got to hit it out of the park because everyone's sober at the restaurant. So that sets us apart to some degree. But secondly, and most importantly, it's going to be our oven-baked items. We have huge convection ovens in the back. We make everything from scratch, all of our batters. And then they're jet puffed, almost like a puffy pastry, our pancakes and our omelets as well. So if you want an oven-baked omelet or pancake, you just can't get it anywhere else.
Amazing. That sounds delicious.
It's awesome.
So what would you say the number one item that people get coming into your stores? Is it those oven-baked items? Or?
It is. So our apple pancake is our number one seller. It's really what put us on the map. It's the size of your plate, and it can only be served immediately out of the oven. It's a giant puffed creation, and it settles down after being at the table for a moment. But when it arrives at the table, it was in the oven, 15 seconds ago. So that's our number one seller. And then number two is our Santa Fe omelet, which is another oven-baked selection. And it's more on the southwestern side of things and works great for really our local community. Everyone loves that Santa Fe omelet.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you're a family-oriented restaurant and kind of like a community space as well. You mentioned that you put a lot of money into the La Jolla restaurant, and all your locations are beautifully designed.
Yeah, good point. And I think that's one of the things that also makes us a little bit unique is the spaces that we're in, we're going to be there effectively forever. I mean, my dad signed that lease in Schaumburg back in, like I said, the late 70s, early 80s. It's still there.
Wow.
His downtown location been there almost 20 years now. La Jolla 10 years, needs other more recent. But we build to be there permanently. A lot of millwork, everything in the kitchen is custom. They're smaller spaces, so we've got to jam all these important things in there. And we don't do that to be there for a decade and come and go and do another renovation and be trendy. We're here for the long haul.
Yeah, I love that. You're built to last.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Now, if someone's watching this and they want to check you out and go visit one of your locations, what's the best way to get in contact, check out the menu, make a reservation?
Well, great question. We recently rolled out a new phone number, 323-PANCAKE.
Oh, I love it.
And once you get to 323-PANCAKE, you can be connected with any of the stores. We do online ordering direct from our website. We do not take reservations. It's first come, first serve. And that guarantees one thing. Number one, that we'll do the biggest and strongest volume. Number two, that the people that are on the ground will get served right away. I know that frustrates me, especially when you want breakfast and you look at these empty tables.
Yeah.
How did they get more important than me, or
Exactly.
they won't take my reservation but take someone else's? This is you queue up manually, and no matter how long that line is at La Jolla downtown, really any of the locations, that line will go down the block, but it moves super fast because we're turning and burning and getting in there. People aren't boozing for hours at a time.
Yeah,
it's moving along. So
Amazing.
Come see us.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming on our podcast. It was really great to learn more about you and Richard Walker's, and be sure to check them out. Welcome to Discover La Jolla, where we shine a light on the jewel of San Diego, La Jolla, California. I'm here with Ivy from Shack Shine. She's the owner and founder here of the business in La Jolla.
Hi, thank you.
thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. We're very excited to have you on and learn more about your story. So we talked on the phone a little bit earlier, and I got to know a little bit about you. And you have such an incredible story, immigrating here, starting your business. So why don't we talk about how you came to San Diego and what made you start Shack Shine?
Okay. We're from Mexico. We used to live, I was born and raised in Mexico City. So we decided to move to San Diego in 2020. Then pandemic hit and we started the visa process. And after 2 years, we received our visa. So we came on January 2022 to start business in San Diego. We look at this franchise because we love to clean. My husband Albert and I decided to start this new business. So we look for a franchise who make us happy, and we love to clean. So we found Shack Shine. Shack Shine is part of a brand, O2E brands. They have also 1-800 Got Junk and Wow, One Day Painting, and Shack Shine. So this is a Canadian franchise, and we love it. We love the vibe. We love like the fresh feeling, and we decided to go with Shack Shine. Since then, we have been very happy. And then we moved to San Diego, started this business. We moved with our son, our daughter, and they actually helped us at the beginning.
Amazing.
Yes, it was the whole family working for Shack Shine, and since then we have been cleaning windows, power washing, especially for the community in La Jolla. Yes.
I love that. And you also, not only do you do power washing, cleaning, but you do holiday lights as well.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes, we do holiday lights. And that's my favorite part of the business because we love the face of people when we turn on the lights, and then they can see the whole house like shiny and bright, and they love the lights. Our lights are commercial grade. Actually, people buy their lights, and then we sell them, and then we go back and take them off, and you can keep it, or we can storage for you, and then the next year we only have to go and put them on and take them down.
Oh, that's such a great concept.
Yes,
So they don't have to worry about storing them and
No,
all the
they
hassle of
don't.
taking them down and putting them up.
No, and these are really nice bright lights. And also we can switch the bulbs. So for example, for Halloween, you can switch the bulbs for orange and purple, and then we go back and switch them for Christmas lights or for Thanksgiving, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's perfect.
this is amazing.
Multi-use.
Exactly, exactly. So a lot
Very,
of
very cool.
customers used to do that. They start with Halloween lights, and then they switch them for Christmas lights.
I love
Yes.
that. And I know you said you service all of San Diego, but
Yes.
you have a lot of business in the community of La Jolla.
Yes.
What's your favorite part about La Jolla?
People. Yeah, people, it's very kind people, sweet, gentle. I would say that people in La Jolla is really, really good customer and very kind people. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story and a little bit about Shack Shine. And if someone's watching this and they want to get in touch with you and learn more about your services, where can they find you?
Yes, they can go to the webpage. It's shackshine.com or our Instagram page in Instagram, Shackshine.
Amazing.
Diego.
Thank you so much, Ivy.
Thank
You for
you.
coming on Discover La Jolla.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to Discover La Jolla, where we shine a light on the jewel of San Diego, La Jolla, California. I'm here with Jay Guan of Tint World, Miramar.
Hello, Courtney. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for coming on our podcast today. And we're so excited to learn more about you, hear your story, and why you got started with Tint World. I know it's very personal to you, and I'm very excited to share the story with our viewers.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah, so I started Tint World after I graduated from Loyola Marymount University. I got a degree of entrepreneurship there. And after I graduated, I went back home to Merced, California. My parents have a Chinese restaurant, so I worked for them for a long time. And I didn't want to be in the food service anymore. I always loved cars since I was a kid. So we started to look at San Diego, and I found a bunch of business. I say within a week and a half, I bought Tint World. and that's about almost 14 years ago.
So you've been around for a long time, and you do tints, but you do other services as well.
Yes, so we do paint protection film, which is a clear film that block, from scratches and rock chips to keep your car new. We do ceramic coating, which make your car really shiny and makes it easy to clean, as well as window tint.
Yeah. So I think being in Southern California, especially San Diego, where it's so sunny all the time,
Yes.
and, cars don't come with tint. So I even know we were at your shop earlier this week. We did some filming, which was super fun. And we had the owner of our company, Real Talk. He came in and he got his car tinted, and he didn't even know how much heat was coming in. So
Yes.
why do you think it's so important for people to get their cars tinted?
My team and I, we talk to probably over 100 people a day.
Wow.
And nobody knows the benefit of the new ceramic window tint because it's a relatively new technology. So most glass has pretty poor UV blockage. So you could put a clear film on all of your windows, including the windshields, the front two windows, and your roof to block out all the heat and all the UVs. Back in the days, I think people think window tints are blacking out your vehicle,
Right.
and it has no heat
Yeah,
rejection
it's more
properties.
of aesthetic.
Yeah. So now, as ceramic technology changed, you could have a clear film that blocks out the heat and the UV. And that's where I'm an advocate to try to get the public to know that. I have 3 kids.
Yeah.
And when we didn't have window tint and we try to travel with the kids and they just complain in the car. We can't get them out of the house for more than 30 minutes. They start screaming and kicking. And then after we put the good tint on there, we could do road trips. And they're protected in the from the UV ray as well.
You don't realize how important it is to have that tint, especially not only in the front, like as a driver, but also the back seat. And what I didn't realize was even the
privacy
the
glass.
privacy glass.
Yes.
Yeah, like the roof. Like you
Yeah.
have to kind of tint all angles
Yes.
to be fully protected.
Yeah, so even the privacy glass in the back that comes from truck, minivans, and SUVs. So minivan and SUV, a lot of people, they have the younger kids in the back, and they think the UV are blocked. They think it's like privacy glass is tinted already.
Yeah, because it's dark and it comes that way.
But it's just a stained glass. So UV cannot penetrate through plastic. So if you put a film on there, it will block out 99.9% of UV.
Wow.
According to Skin Cancer Foundation, 1 out of 5 Americans will develop skin cancer in their lifetime.
Oh my gosh,
And,
that's a very
yeah.
high statistic.
And over 95% of the skin cancer related are due to UV radiations.
Yeah.
And also your eye too. So ophthalmologists and dermatologists, they all, from their research study that from your left side where you face the sun for your windows, you have a higher rate of like blindness, eye disease, also aging. That's another thing. UV kind of damage your skin tissues, so it causes wrinkle. So there's just so much benefit of putting a clear ceramic film on your window, and if the public know that, later on it's going to become kind of like a common knowledge. As soon as
Yeah.
people get a car, oh, I want to get it protected, I want to get my kids protected, and then also blocking out the heat.
Exactly. Yeah, it's things you don't even realize. And we're in our car so much and for so long, driving around
Yeah.
for work, for school pickups, all that. So you don't realize like how much the UV is really penetrating to your skin.
Oh, yeah.
And creating that damage. And if there's a way to prevent that, getting more knowledge about that out is so important.
100%. So according to studies, average Americans spend over 100 minutes in their car. And in San Diego, we have a lot of traffic, so probably more.
Yeah.
And just think about like over the years, how much UV radiation exposures that, you and your loved one exposed to in the car.
Yeah.
And by putting some sort of film on there, you'll be able to completely protect them. So big health prevention.
Definitely, definitely. Now let's talk about your journey as an entrepreneur. What would you say has been one of the challenges of owning your own business, and or one of those rewarding parts as well, since there's always highs and lows?
Yeah, it's challenging. I think that's what I like about it. So waking up every day, you'll be able to there's always something new. There's always chaos. So I like the excitement of that. Waking up every day to be able to solve a problem and just continue to grow the business. So I love that aspect of it. And then the downside is also a lot of problem, a lot of responsibility, a lot of sleepless nights. But, things get easier. You be able to create your own schedules. And I think the reward of owning a business is you could dictate what you do and what you put in. And it's worth it at the end because you build it with your hand.
Definitely. And it's so important. And thank you so much for sharing a little bit about
Of course.
this and helping spread the word. Now, if someone's watching this and they're like, I need to get my car tinted, what's the best way to get in touch with you and book an appointment at Tint World?
Okay, so I own Tint World Miramar, and you can just give us a call and they'll be able to walk you through everything. We also do free consultations so they can come in. We can go over the benefits of different films, and yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. It was such an incredible story to hear from you, and we look forward to having you on again.
For sure. Thank you.
Welcome to Discover La Jolla, where we shine a light on the jewel of San Diego, La Jolla, California. I'm here with Yesenia Beckman of Well Traveled Wealth.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you so much for coming on our podcast today, and we're so excited to learn more about yours and your husband's company. Now, it's quite different than other financial planning companies where you really take a more holistic approach. So let's talk about that.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. We founded Well Traveled Wealth, my husband and I, like you mentioned. We're a boutique financial planning firm that is very different to others. Like you were saying, we take a holistic approach. But I think the biggest thing that is different with us is just the way that we work with clients and the way that we approach wealth in general. We don't see wealth as something that you just collect over time. It's just a means to live a fulfilled life. So we're definitely not the firm that's going to sit down with the client and have them save every single last penny that they have.
Right.
It's more of having those conversations of what's important for them to have in their future and plan for that, but also what experiences are important for them today, right? And that's really important for us to find out and help them accomplish that.
And how did you and your husband get started in this? Like, what made you decide to start Well Traveled Wealth?
So we both started at a much larger firm. Your corporate, more normal, I guess you can say, type of firm that's based off of numbers and gathering assets and trying to get that next client constantly. Those values just didn't align with the way that we see our business and how we wanted to work with clients. So we did make the decision of starting Well Traveled Wealth on our own. And I think it was more of the realization of how Todd and I live our own life. We try and have balance in our lives where we try to experience everything that we can today and make sure that we're living in the moment, but also just making smart decisions to make ourselves or put ourselves in a position where we can have that ideal retirement or financial future.
Totally.
And that's really what we try to accomplish with every client is helping them find that balance in their own lives, whatever that looks like for them.
Right. And it's important to have that balance too, because you don't want to be so restrictive and feel like you can't enjoy your life, especially living in such a beautiful city, San Diego, La Jolla.
We're lucky.
Yeah, there's so much, to do, and you don't want to feel like you're limited to that as well.
Yeah.
So what's one kind of common piece of advice you tend to give your clients if they're saving or if they're kind of like having a big financial goal coming up?
I think it just starts with sitting down and having those conversations if, they're married so that they're both on the same page and setting those goals for the short term and then the middle term and then the long term. So I think it can get complicated when you start thinking about all the goals that you want to accomplish.
Right.
And I think just sitting down and really separating it out and assigning kind of a time frame, right? When do you see yourself reaching these different goals that you have? And then that way we can start the conversation of what's your cash flow look like? What is reasonable, right? What's realistic? And where do we put these different assets to make sure that you're on the path to reaching those goals in that time frame?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now, personally for you, what's been the most rewarding part of having your own business?
Gosh, honestly, it's just being authentic and running our business true to what we value and our philosophies and not someone else's. And I think every conversation that I have with clients, it's just so honest, and I want to see them happy. When I hear about their stories, about their traveling that we plan for, they come back and share it with us, or their kids are in college. It's just rewarding, you know, and sometimes it does take that time to just sit down and have those honest conversations aside from all the numbers and the statements and all the financials. It's really just understanding what's important for someone. So I think just through those conversations, you obviously become very close to clients and you feel a part of it, a part of their journey, and it's really special.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's what kind of keeps them coming back, and you don't have that transactional relationship.
Nope.
You really like keep that personal relationship. And even you mentioned that your office space is very like cozy and it's inviting, and that's really good because it's such a sensitive topic, and a lot of people are nervous to explore finances, or you know, they might be a little bit embarrassed or shy, and they kind of have to have that open environment.
Yeah, and just building that trust, right? We have to have that trust to be able to be successful with the relationship that we have with our clients. And right now it's just all referrals based. That's how we're growing organically, and that is just, I guess, a testament, right, to how our clients do feel about us and our relationship and how we work with them.
Yeah. Now, if someone's watching this and they want to learn more, they want to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to get in contact?
So we have our Instagram, so Well Traveled Wealth. We have Facebook, Well Traveled Wealth, and then our email, info@welltraveledwealth.com, our website, welltraveledwealth.com.
Easy. Well, thank you so much, Yesenia. Really enjoyed learning more about your business and very excited to share this with our viewers.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Welcome to Discover La Jolla, where we shine a light on the jewel of San Diego, La Jolla, California. I'm here with Jorn from Yes Watches.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi.
Glad to be here.
Nice to meet you too. It's a pleasure having you on the podcast, and we're so excited to learn about your brand, Yes Watches. And I know you have such a unique background too with watchmaking and how you got into it. So let's dive in.
What do you want to know? How I got started?
Yes. How did you get started?
I wore a really cool Rolex Submariners. Watch guys will know this. Traveling the world a bit, and I was down in St. Bart's on a trip, and I realized, I would like to go for a beach walk tomorrow morning. When does the sun rise? And I looked at my fantastic Rolex, and it couldn't tell. So I said, why can't it tell? So I dug into it a little bit, and you realize that none of the existing watches could tell. Why? Because the technology available in mechanical watches and in quartz watches simply can't calculate this information.
Very interesting.
It's very, very complicated stuff. You need to employ astronomical algorithms, which means chip technology. In 1997, I had a meeting with the engineer at Glashütte. It's a big brand out of Germany. And we had lunch and we started talking, and I said, this is what I want to do. And I went rambling on a little bit. And after 3 minutes, he just laughed and said, you know, if you want to do all that in a wristwatch, you'll be carrying a backpack on your wristwatch. So it's like, I can't do it that way. So I ended up manufacturing out of Hong Kong, which has been a whole different adventure altogether.
So are your watches currently being made there?
Yes. My main group is out of Hong Kong. Most of the manufacturing is done inside of China, but we get parts from, you know, the movement is a Swiss movement. The quartz crystal, or the sapphire crystal, comes from Germany. So it's kind of a mix from everything. The chip is out of Japan. It's really a mix of all over the planet, really.
That's
it comes
very
from everywhere.
Cool.
Yeah.
It has kind of all those international ties.
So part of it is made in Thailand. So. And
I know we chatted earlier too that your watches kind of appeal to so many people in different industries. So let's talk about how astronomers use them. Everyone in different industries can benefit from your watches.
Right. What the timepiece does is it combines the steady ticking of hours, minutes, and seconds with the natural cycles, daily, monthly, seasonal cycles of the sun and the moon. So it combines these two elements. So it has a lot of practical applications for this. I mean, you can't really think of much in your daily life that doesn't revolve around day and night, really. So our first love really came from astronomers, these guys that stare into the sky at night. They bought right away. Then photographers followed, military personnel, outdoors people, kind of people that had a practical application
Yeah.
for it. Yeah,
Yeah,
we got
who'd
started
really
in
use it.
1999, so at the time it was very unique. Yeah, very unique. Now it has kind of been cannibalized by the smartwatches. There's an abundance of brands out there.
Right.
A
right.
buddy of mine, a colleague in the business, he's called the business wildly competitive, and I think he's right about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, since it is wildly competitive, how do you stay on top of the trends and really
We just figured it
differentiate?
out here with your boss man in this company. We're going to now start to promote it as vacation time, because the beautiful thing about this is you can turn digital time off and run purely on natural time.
Oh,
and
I
we
love
call
that.
it vacation time.
Amazing.
So I think that's our new SoCal branding, vacation time.
I like it. You heard it here first.
I heard it here
Vacation
first,
time.
yes.
Now, I know you said you have a kind of like a live work shop over in a little bit south of La Jolla, Pacific Beach. So tell our viewers where they can come meet you and see the watches and really figure out which one's best for them.
We are in a live workspace at 687 Turquoise Street, 2-minute walk from Tourmaline Beach, where all the surfers hang out. Beautiful, great location. I have actually been working out of a home office since 1994. I've been a real pioneer there.
Very
I think it's
cool.
been done wonders for my carbon footprint, but I think I've blown it all on my trips to Thailand. But yes, I mean, it's a shop. It's basically, most of our business is all over the place. It's international. 90% of our business comes from our website. Like this morning, I sold a watch to Vienna.
Wow.
Yesterday, I sold a watch into Tokyo. So it's a very international thing. So for us, selling via internet has been the best base. But I would welcome to meet people locally that are watch aficionados and want to check it out and see it. And they're welcome to come by. I mean, I prefer to do it by appointment.
Okay.
Because we don't really have a retail setup. This is kind of a live work setup, but we do our storage there, we do our operations there, we do our shipping there, we do all the other stuff.
And how can they make an appointment?
Call me or send me an email or go to our website. We should probably, do you want specifics on this?
Oh, no, that's totally fine.
Yeah,
definitely give you a call or check out your website
Yeah.
and they can set up an appointment to come meet you, view the watches, and learn a little bit more.
Right, exactly. www.yeswatch.com.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. Very interesting story and so excited to have our viewers learn more about you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.